Chat, we got to talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu, because as I walked in to sit down in my seat to watch this movie, I was reminded of all of the tweets and TikTok videos and everything that I've seen from people who have had a chance to see this movie about how much they did not like it, how bad it was, how little it offers, how slow it is, how boring it is, how dumb it is, how it's the worst Star Wars movie ever made. I was warned going into this movie. And I'm sitting here, just got home like 10 minutes ago. It's 1 a.m. after watching that movie. And I'm just like, what the hell were you talking about? Worst Star Wars movie ever made? Are you kidding me? Did we watch the same movie? Because I don't think that we did. Because the Star Wars movie that I sat down to watch was, bar none, a fantastic, fun, exciting, exhilarating journey of the Mandalorian and Grogu. And that's exactly what I expected this movie to be when I walked into this theater. And it's exactly what I got when I walked out. Cannot believe the amount of hate that this movie got even before it came out. Like, people were talking about how bad it's going to be. How I literally just responded to a comment on YouTube. Someone was saying, "I'm sorry that you had to watch this movie because it was horrid." What do you mean? This movie was so fun. There was so much about this movie that made me smile, that made me say, wow, that made me laugh. There was a part of me that was like, wait a second, is this really going to happen? No way this is going to happen, right? There were so many parts of this movie that was like, this is a good movie. What are people talking about? I don't get it. So before I get into some of the things that I loved, some of the things that did not work for me, some of the things that surprised me, and my rating at the end of the video, if you haven't watched the movie yet, here's your spoiler warning. It's coming. I'm going to be talking about the movie. If you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, turn this off. Come back after you watch it. If you don't care, or if you have watched the movie, stick around. We're going to get into it. Because the first thing that I want to talk about is that score. The film score was so good. Ludwig Göransson just is always so good. He is always fantastic. He's won Oscars for so many reasons. He is so good at what he does, and he did not miss a beat in this movie. There was specifically one piece that stuck out to me more than any of the other pieces in this movie, and it was this one that was kind of like this like nighttime neon cyber city hip hop sound. I don't know how else to describe it, but it felt like I was in like Tokyo Drift in space. That kind of sound, like that kind of music. It was so cool. It was so unique. Something that you don't really ever hear a Star Wars movie or TV show do. It was so unique. It was so different. And it really, like, I would bob my head when that song came on every time. I was like, this is really cool. I like the way that this sounds. I think that this is a really cool score. A really cool, I don't know what you call it, a song piece. I don't know what you call it. Whatever it is, it was awesome. And then obviously like the regular old school Mandalorian thing, the that thing, it's there too. And it's fantastic. I think that the Mandalorian, like, that theme is so cool and it's so unique compared to anything else, right? Like, all the rest of them are horns and strings. This one is like an ancient woodwind instrument. It's so cool. I think that Göransson knocked it out of the park with this film score. That was one of the biggest things. That was probably my biggest surprise of the night, was that film score. The other thing that surprised me was Din Djarin's kill count. Pretty high. It was up there. I feel like It may be in the triple digits. I could be wrong, but I feel like I saw him kill at least 100 people in this movie. Pretty crazy. He was giving everyone the business. Start to finish, full on A game, all pro. I feel like seasons 2 and 3, maybe he was not up to snuff with his like fighting abilities and his like that side of him. This movie, all pro, MVP, all-star, Hall of Fame level. Dude, triple digits kill count. It was unreal. It was bar none some of the most brutal stuff I've seen from Din Djarin in the 8 years that we've known him at this point. It was unbelievable. Like, it was like, wow, he has taken out a lot of dudes in this movie. Like, this is kind of crazy. Granted, I think a lot of them were droids, so that doesn't really count, right? It's fine if clankers die. We're good, right? But there were some stormtroopers that were taken out by Din Djarin. So he had a pretty big kill count. That was another thing that surprised me. So that might be the bigger shocker than Ludwig Göransson's film score, because let's face it, Göransson does good every time. He does a good job every time. But Mando does not have a triple-digit kill count every time. So that really, really surprised me. A couple of the moments that I think were some of my favorites in this movie. I think the first one is the development of the relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu. Bar none, they have developed their relationship like crazy off screen, which I'm fine with not seeing how the relationship develops, because obviously time passes, right? Like, everyone sleeps for at least, like, on average 8 hours a day. So a third of our lives, we don't even see anything. Like, our eyes are closed. So if you don't see someone training or someone developing a relationship or growing up off screen, get over it. Your eyes are closed for a third of your life anyways. Don't care what you think. But you can tell the difference from like season 1, Din Djarin, where he's just like, what are they going to do with this kid? I mean, it doesn't matter, but like, what is it that they were trying to do? I'm confused. 2, I swear to God, if you touch a hair on his head, I will slice you in half. Like, that's a big change in the development between season 1, episode 1, Din Djarin, and Mandalorian Grogu movie, Din Djarin. He loves this kid. He is his dad. Like, he is the father. Grogu looks at him and sees his dad. Like, that's his dad. From now on, it's not just two dudes hanging out, doing a Western thing. It is literally a father and a son duo. That's what the story is now. And it's very obvious how much he cares about Grogu and how much Grogu cares about Din Djarin. Like, it's very obvious. He very much cares for him, which is like the other part that was like one of my favorite moments in this entire movie was when Din Djarin, he fights the dragon snake, gets bit, gets the poison, and eventually basically like kind of passes out and is in this like state of paralysis for several days. And Grogu just goes into like caretaker mode. It was spectacular to watch. Like, he built this like little mud hut that Din Djarin didn't fully fit in, but it was big enough for him to go in and get out of like the elements and eat stuff and kind of sit with his dad at this point. He went out and found water for him and Din Djarin. He went out and found food for himself. Eventually, where he found the food, he was able to find the thing that was going to heal this dragon snake poison in Din Djarin. And there was a moment in that time-lapse piece, kind of, time-lapse isn't really the word, like sizzle reel kind of type. I don't know what you would call it. He's like sitting on a tree branch and just like meditating with the Force. And in my brain, I'm just thinking like, this has to be how Yoda did it on Dagobah. Like, he just got to work building this little hut, and like Grogu literally found like a walking stick to like walk around. It was so cute and it was so funny. It was like, this has to be how Yoda did it. Like I'm picturing Yoda when I'm watching Grogu do all of this stuff, because none of us got to see what Yoda actually did when he got to Dagobah, when he went into exile after Order 66. No one got to see it. We just kind of got to see the end of it. And it feels like just building the hut, meditating, going out, finding water, finding food, all that kind of stuff. Like that was just kind of what it was. And Grogu did it. And it was honestly, it was kind of beautiful for the most part. Like it was just quiet. He was in nature. He was meditating. He was taking care of his dad. Like I don't like it hit me like right. It was like one of those things that like hits you in the feels. It was cool. And then the other one of my favorite moments were I don't know what the species is off the top of my head. I would have to look it up, but it's Babu Frick. That species, the little guys, they look at Grogu, they called him Bad Baby a couple seasons ago, maybe season 3. There's 4 of them in this movie, and they are so funny. It's the same guy, same ones from Navarro, I'm pretty sure, that like help him with the IG droid. Their dialogue is hilarious. It's so funny. Like getting off of their little ship, looking over and seeing Rada the Hutt, and they're like, "Hey, big guy," and then they're walking into this cantina, and one of them's like, "First round's on me." Like just the funniest things that you would not expect. Like these tiny little characters that make Grogu look big. Honestly, they have some of the funniest stuff. Like, we'll be back, Mando. Like, Mando, we told you we'd be back. Like, it's funny. It's one of those pieces that's like obviously there for the comedic relief, and it does a really good job, in my opinion. It's just everyone in the theater that I was in laughed every time these guys said one of their one-liners. It was hilarious. They did a fantastic job. But there were some things that didn't quite work for me in this movie. And they're it's not a big deal. It's just kind of, it is what it is. It did feel like it was several seasons of The Mandalorian squeezed into one thing to make it to a movie. It flowed well, but it was very obvious that this could have been a TV show. This could have been a season 4 of The Mandalorian. They just decided to put it in theaters, which I ain't complaining. We got Star Wars. I got to go to a movie theater to watch a Star Wars movie. That's a win. I don't care. That is a win. A win is a win. But it very much gave those vibes. And the other thing that it kind of gave was like a Grand Theft Auto type of vibe, kind of like an open world video game vibe where he's like accepting missions, completing the missions, upgrading his house, upgrading his car, upgrading his outfit. Like there was a point, like obviously he gets into a Razor Crest, not his Razor Crest, but it's another Razor Crest. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're done with the Naboo starfighter. Well, fast forward a little bit, he goes back to his house and you can literally see the Naboo starfighter in his backyard just sitting there. I'm like, oh, hey, there it is. And it's just like one of those things where I'm like, he's just like collecting cars and doing jobs and making money. Like this feels like a video game, which is cool. Like it's kind of how the story goes. It's like a Western, right? Like he's a bounty hunter. He gets a bounty, gets the guy, comes back and collects the bounty. Like that's what he does. That's the Mandalorian. That's what this story is. He just happens to have Grogu, who is this powerful force using little baby, but also is kind of not a baby because he's 50. Like it just like is an extra spin. Like that's the Star Wars part of it. That's the part that kind of didn't work for me. It was like, this could have been a 4th season of television. And it was just like kind of like it felt like a video game. Just kind of the way that some of the things happened. The other thing that didn't work for me is kind of more of like an overarching Star Wars thing. They do be loving blowing stuff up at the end of Star Wars movies. They did it in The Phantom Menace. They did it in A New Hope. They did it in Return of the Jedi. They did it in The Force Awakens. They're just blowing stuff up at the end of movies. Like it's kind of getting out of hand. They even did it in The Last Jedi, technically. Like the Holdo maneuver kind of blew up all of the fleet, basically. Like they just like to blow stuff up at the end of movies. And they did it again in this movie. They fly in and the guy who blows up the palace is like using the same like targeting mechanism that Luke used while he was flying through the trench on the Death Star in A New Hope, and like locks on, shoots the building, it blows up. All the X-Wings like fly around it and then they fly off. I'm like, that's just Star Wars, man. And it is, and to an extent, like that is Star Wars, but also like, come on, get some new material. I understand that you like to play the hits. Like, you go to a Van Halen concert. You don't want to hear the Sammy Hagar era. You want to hear the David Lee Roth era. So many people probably disagree with me. I don't care. David Lee Roth era, Van Halen was so much better. Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne era, so much better than the Ronnie James Dio era. Was it Ronnie James Dio? I don't know. They like to play the hits. Star Wars likes to play the hits. It is what it is. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I really needed an X-Wing blowing up another thing at the very end of this movie, and then they get to ride off into the sunset. I don't know that I needed that, but nonetheless, that's what Star Wars does, honestly. My one concern, I think, coming out of this movie is like, there were not a lot of people in the theater with me. Like, not a lot of people at all. Like, probably 60+% of that theater was open seats, which kind of concerns me because I think a lot is riding on this movie, the success of this movie. And if every theater and every showing is like only 40% full, it's not looking good for the future of Star Wars. It's not. Like, plain and simple. It's not. If this movie doesn't do well, Disney has new leadership. Lucasfilm has new leadership. This movie does not do well at the box office. I had no clue what that means for the future of Star Wars. Obviously, we're getting the Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling. There's been rumors of Daisy Ridley getting a new trilogy. There's been rumors of potentially bringing back The Hunt for Ben Solo. There's been rumors of all kinds of stuff. If this movie does not do well, they will cancel all of those projects. 100%, without a doubt, they will cancel those projects because they're going to be like, all right, let's take a decade off. Worked last time. And I don't want that to happen. I truly do not want that to happen. I think what we need is people going to this movie, taking their friends, taking their family, buying tickets, and going and sitting down and watching this movie and enjoying 2 hours of nonstop action and cuteness from Grogu and laughs from Babu Frick's species. Like, that's what we need. Just do it. The world's crazy enough outside anyways. Just get away from all that for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Go eat some popcorn. Go drink some Coke Zero and enjoy a movie because the future of Star Wars depends on it. Truly. And maybe the theater only looked that way because I went to a 10 o'clock showing on Thursday night. Maybe 6 o'clock on Friday will look different. Maybe 3 o'clock on Saturday will look different. Surely those theaters will be more packed out, I would assume. But something in me was like, if this is how they all look, if they're all this open, that's not going to be good. So please, for the love of all that is holy, go watch this freaking movie. Because if I don't get to have more Star Wars movies in the future, I will not be a pleasant person to be around. So help me God. But yeah, I just think a lot is riding on this movie. Not like story-wise. The story does not even need this movie in the grand scheme of things. Like, the storyline is going as it's supposed to be going with Thrawn and Ahsoka and all that stuff. This is not even remotely related to that for the most part. It needs to be successful because I need Star Wars to keep making movies so that I can go to the movies and watch Star Wars movies. Plain and simple. I think overall, if I had to give this movie a rating out of 10, I would probably give it like a 7.2 out of 10. I think it's fun. It's exciting. There's a lot of action. Like I said, Din Djarin's kill count is crazy high. But it was like not the perfect Star Wars movie. Like, it wasn't The Last Jedi. It wasn't Empire Strikes Back. It wasn't Revenge of the Sith. And not every movie is. Like, that's only 1/3 of all Star Wars movies that's ever come out are that good. So you can expect that. I mean, less than 1/3 actually, because I guess this was the 12th Star Wars movie now. Rogue One, Solo would make it 11. This one will make it 12. So yeah, 1/4 of Star Wars movies are perfect movies. So it's not going to be that, but it's also not what the doomers are saying on social media. And all the people in my comment section here on YouTube are saying in the comments. It was fun. It was exciting. Go watch it. You will not be disappointed unless you walk in wanting to be disappointed, unless you just are just an abysmal person to be around. If you're just a terrible person to sit down next to for 2 hours, you'll enjoy this movie because I had a lot of fun. I really liked this movie. I can't wait to go back and watch it again. And when I do go back and watch it again, I think I'm going to keep track of how many kills that Din Djarin gets, because I am very curious as to what that number is. Surely somebody's going to do that and like make an article about it. We can address that at another time. Let me know what you guys rate this movie in the comment section below. What worked for you? What were your favorite parts? All of that stuff. Click that like button also, and click that subscribe button on your way out. I will catch you in the next one. Enjoy your dinner.